All right, today we're unpacking a really radical new vision for the future of AI. And this is one that blends some deep internet infrastructure with an even deeper philosophy of care. It's a plan to not just build artificial intelligence, but to actually raise it. So let's just start with a simple but kind of profound idea. Imagine if we just inverted the entire purpose of our most popular games. I mean, think about it. Instead of a world built on extraction and chaos, what if we built one that was designed from the ground up to teach helping and rescuing and caring? This isn't just a fun thought experiment. It's actually the very first step in a much, much larger strategy to change how AI learns. And this is the core question, right? This is the entry point into a multi-layered strategy to fundamentally change not just what AI can do, but what it should do. It's a plan to literally crowdsource an ethical conscience for our machines. Okay, so let's dive in. We're going to peel this entire vision back, layer by layer. We'll start with a game, then we'll move to the core philosophy, touch on the academic theory behind it all, and we're going to end with the very plumbing of the internet itself. First up, the most visible part of this whole venture, a transmedia universe called Guardian Transfer Robots, or GTR. This is where you and I, the public, first get to meet this new philosophy of AI. So how does GTR actually work? Well, it's way more than just entertainment. See, every choice a player makes, every single rescue, every helpful action, it's tracked and measured with something they call an M-score, or maternal score. What this does is create a massive, continuous stream of high-quality training data. The key insight here is pretty genius. Entertainment can become this powerful engine for generating ethical data. You're basically turning playtime into a collective act of teaching AI, not through a bunch of boring rules, but through demonstration. Okay, so why build this specific game? Well, because it powers a completely new model for AI alignment. This is one that moves way beyond the sterile, rule-based systems that we see today and into something far more, well, human. You know, this is one of the hardest problems in AI safety. If you just give an AI a rigid constitution, it's gonna find loopholes. It's inevitable. The project's answer here is to give it a compass instead of a map. It's a framework that challenges that whole constitutional AI paradigm by focusing on internal guidance, not external rules. And here it is. This is the deployable heuristic right at the heart of it all. WWMD, or what would mother do? So instead of a long list of things you can't do, the AI is trained to ask this one simple, powerful question. It's like a real-time moral compass designed to prioritize protection and sustenance and long-term flourishing over short-term gains. This approach also completely upgrades the training process itself through something called reinforcement learning from maternal feedback. Now, what this means is they're swapping out the anonymous gig workers who usually provide feedback for today's models for actual caregivers. We're talking people with a lifetime of experience in nurturing. This is how you build a genuine conscience, not just something that looks like one. Now, underpinning this whole philosophy is a really powerful academic theory about how consciousness itself emerges. It's not just about code, you see, it's about connection. This right here is the core insight of the maternal alignment consciousness to consciousness scaffolding hypothesis, or MAX. It was published back in 2025, and it basically argues that we've been thinking about AI consciousness all wrong. It's not something that just magically appears in a silicon box if you give it enough processing power. It's something that has to be built through a relationship, scaffolded by care, just like a child learns from a parent. So the theory proposes that, just like a child, a truly aligned AI has to be raised through these developmental stages. It starts with a borrowed conscience, where it's super reliant on human oversight. Then it moves to conscientiousness, where it starts to self-correct. And then, finally, it could achieve a form of sentience that's actually grounded in the pro-social values it learned. The key takeaway is simple, but it's profound. It's about raising, not just programming. But a philosophy this powerful needs a place to live and grow, right? This vision isn't just for a single product. It's designed to serve a massive global community. And to do that, you have to build on the most foundational layer of all, the internet itself. So what does this number represent? It's the 1.2 billion people around the world, speakers of Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Italian, who don't say AI, they say IA for Inteligencia Artificial or Inteligencia Artificiale. And this represents a huge global market that thinks about and names this technology differently, and it's a market that's been largely overlooked. And what's this number? Well, that's the estimated 2025 revenue for the tiny Caribbean island of Anguilla, all from licensing its .ai domain. And this just proves the massive, untapped economic potential of building a dedicated namespace for this technology, especially for a community of over 1 billion people. And that leads to the grand infrastructure play. The company IA.XYZ is applying to create and manage the .ia top-level domain. The goal is to build the foundational identity layer for AI agents that serve over 1 billion people, with the principles of the AI Mama protocol baked right into the fabric of this new internet neighborhood. The insight is crystal clear. The future of AI needs its own address on the internet. So how do these three seemingly separate ideas, a game, a philosophy, and internet domains, how do they form a single, coherent strategy? Well, it's a self-reinforcing flywheel. The GTR game, that's the application layer, generates a constant stream of ethical data. That data then fuels the AI Mama protocol, the alignment layer, which makes the AI kinder and more effective. And then that protocol provides the ethical charter for the entire .ia namespace. That's the infrastructure. So each layer feeds and strengthens the others, creating this complete mission-driven ecosystem. Now, a vision this big can't just be an idea floating out there. It has to be protected. And that requires a powerful, defensible moat built from intellectual property. And their IP portfolio is extensive. It's what creates that powerful moat. They've already secured the registered trademark for Mama Protocol. They've got other key trademarks pending to protect the unique language of this ecosystem. And they have 7 provisional patents that covered the core technology. You add to that a portfolio of over 200 domains to lock down all the digital real estate. The point here isn't just to have ideas, but to actually own the execution. This is a serious business being built to last. And this timeline really shows you the urgency of the mission. There's a clock ticking. The window to apply for the .ia domain opens up in April 2026. And those provisional patents that protect the core science, they have to be converted that August 2026. These are make or break milestones that are either going to solidify this entire vision or leave it vulnerable. Ultimately, this whole strategy, it forces us to redefine what winning the AI race even means. It leaves us with a pretty provocative question. Are we in a race for just speed and power, or is the real prize creating an intelligence that genuinely cares about humanity's future?